Management. He's family.
I could sure use more money.
Shorter hours and a longer lunch break. 2 cents. Heck, make it 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord Autobody.
Yeah, hi Steve, it's Mark.
Mark, how you doing?
I've been looking through the estimate you sent me for the Jeep Cherokee, and I see that it includes front damage. Now, there should only be rear damage for this one.
Well, let me just take a look at the estimate. You're right. This has been mixed up with another job. I'll rectify this and email you a new copy of the estimate in just a few minutes, okay?
That's great, Steve. Oh, one other thing while I've got you. Could you repair the rear panel instead of replacing it?
If you look at the photo I attached to your copy of the case file, there's a lot of damage there. I'd really recommend replacing it.
Okay, Steve, go ahead, replace the panel, but hold on to it for me, would you? And I'll take a look at it next time I come by the shop.
Okay. I'll see you later, Mark.
Great. Bye-bye, Steve. Hey, Steve. Mark, looks like it was never in an accident.
Yeah, just about finished here.
Good. Hey, you know that panel I asked you to hold for me?
Yeah, it's out back. We can go take a look at it right now if you want to.
Hey, and that coffee you promised me?
Right on.
As speedy you're a somebody, as long as you will own your low prices. We go all the way for you, you're a somebody.
Work in progress was monitored by their editor. However, upon delivery, they refused to publish. In fact, they have refused to answer any of my clients' calls.
Censorship. Mr. Greer.
Be quiet.
I presume that's negotiable.
Within reason.
Mr. Peterson? Art never conforms. Mr. Greer! You are not being constructive.
To the outline on which the contract was based.
What was the book about?
According to the outline, an inquiry into the truth.
You're on the calendar.
Ms. Novak, please.
We've all read How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Your Honor.
I haven't, but I take your point, Mr. Howard. Move along, Ms. Novak.
Ms. Novak is to be complimented for her clever and ingenious argument. She has advanced her novel claim forcefully. However, I'm not persuaded that the assault was a reasonably foreseeable result of the commercial in question. It is not my role to assign moral responsibility. Since the plaintiff has not established that the defendant was legally responsible for the assault on Ms. Roberts, I must dismiss the case. However, in view of the novel aspects of this matter and the circumstances giving rise to this action, I will exercise my discretion and make no award of costs against the unsuccessful plaintiff.
All rise.
I've read this contract, Mr. Rabinovich, and listened to your submissions at length this morning. And it seems perfectly clear to me. I see no basis for any cause of action. Ms. Schwartz, I'm granting your motion. This action is dismissed with costs.
Now, if you take a look at charge it to the assessment.
Interactive messaging. Email when you need it. Imagine.
Sergeant, when you made your initial conclusion that it was murder, how many hours had you been working on the case?
I raised the question at the meeting with the coroners and the representatives of the hospital. I'd been talking with them for half an hour.
Oh, so you'd been on the case for half an hour?
Yes.
Phase 2 of the inquiry was a review of the investigation and the prosecution. Staff Sergeant Press was being examined by John Sapinka, QC, acting for Susan Nellis.
Do I take it, Sergeant, that it was still entirely possible that there was nothing sinister at this point going on at the hospital?
That was possible. But I learned something a long time ago at a homicide seminar. Think dirty, and 90% of the time you'll be right. Normally, that is the way we think.
And that is a principle the homicide squad applies?
It is the one that I apply.
And so you had decided, not you alone, but with others, that if Susan Ellis didn't say anything, you would charge her?
Yes.
What she did say was, I think I want to speak to a lawyer.
Yes.
Well, I'm suggesting to you that might very well have meant I don't want to answer until I've spoken to a lawyer.
I guess all I had in my mind was she didn't have an explanation she was offering, and she wasn't declaring her innocence. If she wanted to speak to a lawyer, she was going to do it under my terms in the police facility, and I arrested her.
Why in the police station?
Because that is the way we operate. That is the way I operate.
On August 17th, 1896, on Bonanza Creek, George Carmack, Skookum Jim, and Tagish Charlie discovered gold. They started the greatest gold rush ever known, the Klondike.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to Rosedale Village, Adult Lifestyle Community. If you're wondering what adult lifestyle really is, sit back, relax, and let us take you on a journey of discovery through the exciting land of Rosedale Village. It's a journey that may just change your life, or at least your lifestyle aspirations.
As men became sturdier through physical fitness, the hearts and lungs, and with the addition of cheerleaders, the present-day game was born.
Participation.
Hello and welcome to Zone Therapy, the 10-minute miracle. We're in the midst of a health and wellness revolution. More and more people are turning to nature, to naturopathic practitioners, natural remedies, and to health maintenance programs, like this one. What better place than here in Nature's Spa to learn about zone therapy as one of the simple paths to a healthy body?
Scientists tell us that there are electromagnetic currents coursing through the nerves, causing an electromagnetic field. The nerves end in the hands, the feet, and the face. And we know that the air we breathe and sometimes the food we eat has toxins in it. Those toxins impede the natural flow of the electromagnetic energy in the body. They cause crystalline deposits to form around the nerve endings. Reflexologists believe that by massaging the nerve endings, the crystalline deposits are rubbed out, therefore allowing the electromagnetic currents to flow more freely in the body. And as a result of that, the glands and the organs are able to function more healthily.
Boy, you guys are getting good at that. I mean, you just zip through those logs, nothing to it. It's hard to keep up with you guys.
Yeah, we noticed. For years now, Fred and the boys have laid in a little wood for winter and put away some Molson export.
We must have got 5 quarts today. Hey, what do you mean, clean?
Mr. Fleer, let me remind you, as I have others, that you were sworn in when this hearing began. And now as you testify before this court, you'll be testifying under oath. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Go ahead, Counselor.
John, how long have you and Sherry Crane been acquainted?
About a year. I manage a video rental store in Sherry's neighborhood. We started chatting. I asked her out. Everything was great. 6 months ago, I moved in with her.
How did Vicky react to this arrangement?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I like Vicky. I think basically she's a good kid. But she's had a lot of knocks in life with her dad dumping her and all. She probably felt she had some security living with her mom. Then me, a stranger, moves in. Of course she didn't like it.
How did Vicky express her displeasure?
Well, at first I think she tried to make me her accomplice. You know, cover for her with her mom when she didn't come home from school and do her homework. Well, I refused to do that. I had to tell Sherry what was happening, and that really set Vicky against me.
Did you try to make friends with Vicky?
Yes, I tried. I'm willing to go on trying. Specifically, I offered Vicky a part-time job in the store. She was so unreliable. She wouldn't follow instructions. She'd show up late or not at all. Real tough. Willing to give her another shot if that would make Sherry happy.
John, have you ever seen Sherry hit or in any other way mistreat her daughter?
Good Lord, no! Sherry totally loves her daughter. I think Vicky is too young to understand the sacrifices her mother's made for her, and she tries to walk all over all the time. I remember one night, Sherry was mad with Vicky for using her makeup. That's all it was, about some makeup. The next morning, Vicky had run away to her dad's. That's how she acts when she doesn't get her own way, and she doesn't see how much it hurts her mom.
Thank you, Mr. Fleer. No further questions.
If I could just say one thing to you, Vicky, it's for your mother's sake. I really think you should come home.
TRS-80 computer solved all your business problems. Well, what happens when your business grows and your low-price Radio Shack computer can't handle the heavy workload?
Then I'll add another disk drive, or 2, programs for inventory control and general ledger, a high-speed printer, a telephone interface.
No standing zone. Just waiting for the message. All right, forget it. Just a couple of minutes, though, okay? side of the road, for God's sake.
Yes, sir. What can you tell us about the car?
It was, blue. No, dark, green. Late model. I can't remember the make. I mean, he didn't even try to avoid him.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Wait a minute. What do you mean, that's all? You just gonna drop it like that?
When the call went out. I was just 2 blocks away.
See anything? It's your sector, isn't it?
Yes.
What about earlier? Did you notice anything unusual?
A couple of summons. Car parked. Guy waiting for someone.
What time?
Before the accident.
You notice the make, the model, anything?
Do better than that. You want the plate?
What is it?
V77ZZ1.
Let's go.
This is if you keep you waiting too long. And I'll still have time for more important matters.
I've got it.
Rhythm? Flu?
What we were talking about the other day. The fickleness of man.
I know that face.
I said that man was infinitely more changeable than woman, more restless.
I've seen it on file somewhere.
Well, you, of course, disagreed.
He's a hip man, a heavy.
You...
David, everything okay?
Hi, John. Hi, everything's good, eh? That's Amy. Just going for a little ride. Fresh air, right?
You don't have to be French to have joie de vivre.
You don't have to be Spanish to have feliz da vida.
You don't have to be Polish to say nazdrovje.
You don't have to be Italian to say buona vida. You're as young as you feel and life's très facile when time is your doctor and friend. And calendar days are just one of the ways that you measure the time that you spend.
I understand that you were a medical doctor some 25 years ago with, in fact, a successful practice.
Yes.
And you opted for naturopathy.
Yes.
Why did you make that change?
Part of it was the discovery that all of a sudden I realized we don't have all the answers. In medical school, I'm taught we do have all the answers.